time, a storm is brewing in the camp of the New Patriotic Party as campaign teams of leading candidates in the party's presidential race flagrantly flout directives by party leadership. It follows what has been a war of words from the Bawumia and Ken Agyapong Camp over the weekend as a battle for who leads the NPP into the 2028 election picks up. This is despite the party directing all campaigning be brought to a halt pending the Akwetia by-election. The development sparks fresh concern again over the hold of party leadership on members in respect to its directive. Shortly, we'll engage a political analyst on the latest that was seen on the front of the New Patriotic Party. But let's first walk you through what the commentary has been on social media, reason for which this conversation is actually happening. And we're starting off from the camp of Ken Agyapong, who started it all, and their spokesperson, Kwesi Kwate. He had quite a few things to say with respect to second chances being offered to candidates. And he says that it is misguided and untenable for anyone to suggest that the same person who led the party to their poorest and worst defeat ever automatically is given a second chance, especially when the party's first flag bearer in the Fourth Republican Constitution, Professor Edu Boahin, was denied one despite the circumstances surrounding this performance. He proceeds to make the argument that they who, amongst many other things, believe that Ken Agyapong is the best individual to lead the NPP into the next election. He's not the only person who's been speaking, because we know as well that Miracles Abuaji, who speaks for the Bawumia campaign team as well, has been, amongst many other things, speaking to what exactly it is they have to do with respect to everything that's been playing out as well. And so a bit more on what he's been saying, and that's Kwesi Kwate. He makes the argument that the 2028 election will not be about second chance candidates. It will be about strong candidates. It will be about credible candidates, and most importantly, a winnable candidate. And that is where Ken Agyapong comes in. But like I mentioned, Miracles Abuaji, who speaks for the Bawumia campaign team as well, has been speaking and speaking quite strongly. And he says, directing this straight at Ken Agyapong and his campaign team, that your candidates, and if an inference can be made, that candidate being Ken Agyapong's reckless temperament, divisive rhetoric, and history of inciting violence makes him utterly unfit for the presidency. Whether on the first chance, second chance, or third chance, he will just not cut it for our dear party and country. And that's Miracles Abuaji with that one. But we know that the party, amongst many other things, issued a directive, which we're bringing you details of right now, having to, amongst many other things, urge and ask party members to stay off campaigning until they retain the Akwetia seat in the by-election scheduled for September 2. Here's what the General Secretary had to say at a press conference at the end or the last days of July, specifically on the subject matter. Now, he said the decision of the party is that since we have an important by-election coming up, the Akwetia by-election, all attention and focus must be directed there. Aspiring candidates shall have the right to move around the country to campaign only after the Akwetia by-election. We are calling on every member of this party, especially those who aspire to contest as flag bearer, that the attention and resources be geared towards helping the party to retain our seat in Akwetia. So, yes, the party's position, but it does appear that the leading candidates in that race, their campaign teams, are having an absolutely different perspective as to what the directive is. Let's speak to Dr. Samuel Efree, as a political analyst. He's joining us right now via Zoom for a quick chat in relation to this. Doc, I appreciate your time and for you speaking to us. Your thoughts on what really is a disparity between what the party has directed and what campaign teams of leading candidates are choosing to do at this critical point in time?
Yes, Mauna, I think that the party came out with a decision that they have to finish the Akwetia by-elections, that is after 2nd September. So I don't see why it still has to continue to try to come up with this kind of situation. And that is quite unfortunate. So the party...
Doc, I think we're having a bit of a challenge with respect to the connection to you. I'm hoping we've rectified that now, and possibly you can make your point. Let's try one more time on the party and the expectations of members.
Yes, you know, I think the party need to draw the attention and bring those people in line with the party rules and regulations, because the party said that we all have to wait for the Akwatia by-elections. But it's quite unfortunate that you realize that they've just started. And the earlier, the better. I think the committee that are in charge for the elections, they have to talk to them, especially their presidential candidates, so that they can bring their spokespersons to order. Because if your care is not taken, it might be out of hand, and it might not help the party.
Is it not already out of hand? What it is that we're seeing? There are those who raise concern, and rightly so, that this path that the two leading candidates' spokespersons are on could lead to intense division, that even in the aftermath of the presidential election, there will be a difficulty for the party to put them back together.
Yes, Mauna, it's possible that if they don't shape their spokesperson in this direction, it will create a lot of problems for the party, even after the elections. And that is why they have started. Because when you look at the content, they are attacking individuals. That is the personality of the people that is the candidates that are involved. And even the process have not even started. The people have not filed for them to even declare to be presidential candidates. And you see these things coming early as possible for these kind of intensive internal conflict. I think the party executives need to sit up, especially the committee, and even Council of Elders need to come in some of these issues, because it seems that the way they are going, it will not help the party. The personality attacks is so strong at this stage, and it needs to be avoided as soon as practicable. If not, I'm sorry that the party will be worse even after the elections.
And Doc, just finally, there's been a lot of talk about the party intervening. You've mentioned the Council of State. Can they do that? Because for many people, this has been happening for quite a while, and political scientists like yourself, other persons within the party have asked that, look, persons need to step in, stem the tide, the nature in which the campaigning and the politicking is going within their own fold, and yet this continues to continue. Can the persons you've named really be able to step in and have something done?
Yes, Mamra, for now, I think the party national executive has lost it, and they can't contain the personalities involved. So that is why we are urging that they will look at the national executive, the NEC. They have to come in because they have respected people at the top. And maybe they can also consider President Kufuor to call them in order some of these issues. Because if the way that kind of caliber of these people, it needs people who are above them, beyond, and have that kind of respect and clout within the party to manage these things. Because for now, the national executive has lost it, and they can't contain these issues that is going on with the personalities involved. Right. So it has to be above those personalities.
Doc, I appreciate you speaking to us. That's Dr. Samuel Efree, but